didn't think I could make it. Statistics said I should be dead by now. Trouble and wars all around. The doctors surely had counted me out. After all I had to face, you've been there. And you're tongue in every way. I survived it. Are there any survivors in the house tonight? Now I can go on. Come on, clap your hands with me. I didn't think I could make it. Statistics said I should be dead. Trouble and wars all around. The doctors surely had counted me out. After all, you've been there, and you turned it in every way. I survived. Come on, say, I survived it. That's all you're saying. I survived it. Now I come on, New G, put your hand together. When something strange, I know I can make it. Come on, put your hand on it. I won't cease, I'll just praise. That's how I'll take it. When something stands in the way. When something stands in my way. I know I can make it. I won't cease, I'll just praise. I won't cease, I'll just praise. I'm gonna praise my way through. That's how I'll take it. Come on, clap your hands and say, I survived. I survived. Nobody know all the stuff you had to face. Now I can go. One more time. When something stands in my way, I know I can make it. I won't cease, I'll just praise. I'm gonna praise my way through it. That's how I take it. Come on, clap your hands. When something stands in the way. I won't cease, I'll just praise. That's how I'll take it. Somebody put your foot on it and say, I survived it. Won't you clap your hands with me here tonight? Next time something comes your way, come with me. I'll be okay. I survived. I dare somebody to catch on and catch the words and say, come on, no G, say it again. Come with me. Be okay. I survived it. While you're standing there looking at me, any survivors in the house? Come on, put your foot on it and say it. So come with me. I'll be okay. I survived all the lies they told me. And I survived the stuff they said about me. But I'm all right now. So come one day.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry. Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Mother Georgia, she's back on live, the historic 980 WDDO. All of a sudden, let's go live into the studio with our host, Brenda Sutton.
And hello with the bags under my eyes.
Hello. Why you got bags?
Child, I tell you, to all my listeners out there, hey y'all, I want to apologize for last week. Y'all know that I'm working on my and you might as well say dissertation for the lack of a better word, because once you become a professional genealogist, it's just like going for a doctoral. I have to do, what I would consider my dissertation. Once I do my dissertation, which is my genealogical study, once I do that, then I have to go through and I have to sit for an exam. I have to defend my work.
Right.
And then once I defend my work, then I'm tested on my work. And then once I pass all that, then I'm a professional. So it's just like, it's really, I won't say it's more work than my thesis that I started on. I'm all but dissertation for my doctoral, which I started on it. But this is a lot more funner. So
yeah, I think it's different when you're enjoying it, because Jimmy's going through, he's about to get his master's, and he'll be done in December, actually at the end of December, getting his master's. And when I tell you he has flown through his master's, he has never, and I love my son, bless his heart, he's never been a straight A college student, right? He barely made it, but in his master's, he has made straight A's the entire time. And it's like he said, because it's what I love. It's what I want to do.
And I think that what people don't understand, the difference between a bachelor's and a master's and then a postgraduate. When you're working in your bachelor's, it's a combination of all these different subjects that probably really don't make a whole lot of sense in our mind, even in mine. And I've got it. I'm like, why do I have to take this, and this when it has nothing to do with my major? But once you get into your graduate work, it really brings out what I would say critical thinking and analysis. They're not going to give you all that. You don't get all that background. You've got to actually read and figure, or whatever it is that he's doing. He's got to figure it out. And your doctoral, it's even worse, because then you're doing the research yourself and coming up with your own theorems and stuff like that. So yeah, I want to apologize, because last week I was out doing work on, and I will say her name, I'm going to speak her name, is Lucinda Benton Long, which is Jefferson Long's wife. And it's a great story. I hope that I can share it with you one day. So that's my story, Emily.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you was out taking care of business.
I've been reading. I've actually been reading, and I still have a bad eye.
I'm gonna say you got that one good eye though.
I
got
one good eye.
So you was reading like this.
Oh, but guess who's gonna take me on December 15th to get my eye done?
Me again.
You again.
I mean, you ain't.
I just told you. I just got it. I just got my stuff. It is December December 15th. I will be getting my I'll be getting my other eye done, which I still have a lot of pain in my eye. I have a lot of pain.
Let me put that on here. December 15th.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You still have pain on the one that you had the surgery on? Oh, the other one.
The other one still gives me a lot of pain.
Okay.
Really hurting kind of pain. So, I deal with that along with trying to read. And, I want to say this one, this particular piece ended up being about, I would say, 15 pages, but probably more than that, probably like 20 pages. And then I have another, say, like 40 to 60 pages to go. So,
Well, it's gonna pay off though.
Yeah. If I see another citation or footnote, it's like I don't know. Our caller number is 478-250-1444. Again, that number is 478-250-1444. We got an election coming up, and I just wanted to give some time. There were some people say, "What is Public Service Commission? What is it? What it do? Why should I even bother?"
Okay.
Emily, if you don't know, it is the person who control your utilities. I'm talking about your water, your gas, your electricity. Well, not necessarily the water. I don't know about the water, but I know about your gas and your lights. That Public Service Commissioner does that. I don't know the name of the people that will vote for, but I can tell you that the last name start with a D, as in Democrat. Now, I usually don't push a party's agenda because, I'm basically, I don't do that. But this time, given the way that things are working out, you may want to go on with that Democrat this time on this. Seems to be a little bit more caring about people and their plight and different things like that. So be sure to go out and vote. And by the way, I know there's a lot of people, some of the people that listen to me, some of them don't. But it's a lot of people that don't understand the position that we're in right now because you didn't vote. Now, don't think because you don't vote that, and some people tried to vote, because I know Emily tried to vote and couldn't vote. But I am telling you, you have to try to vote, even if you can't vote. You need to go on out there and do it. I'm going up to Macon State. I'm going to waddle myself on up there, and I'm gonna vote. The other thing that's on the ballot, and it's the school. East Plus. Are you familiar with that?
I think I am. If it's my understanding, it's the money that they collect for the schools.
It is
for education.
Right? Yeah, and see, it's for people when they're driving through. It's that extra money on the tax. Well, we paid it. We've been paying it anyway, so it's not going to really affect you one way or the other. That's it's not going up. It's just a continuation of what we've been paying. Now, I understand that there's some people who are against East Plus. And
why? Tell me that stance.
Well, people get sick of the education. They're sick of what's going on in Bibb County schools, and they don't really want to see it get any funding. They just tired of it. And by the way, I agree with the mess that we have going on in Bibb County schools. It is a big mess. Y'all know I've been talking about Dr. Sims, Facebook and all of that, and them hiring people in for contracts and different things like that. I mean, I got all of that, and I can't stand it. And y'all know I've been fighting for years. For those that don't know, I have fought. I ran and lost. Okay. I ran and lost. And so, I don't have it. I'm not upset that I lost, but I am going to say that a lot of things that go on in the schools, we need to have strong people on the board that are not just yes men and, to everything that the superintendent throw out. They're supposed to balance that and really deal with policies that help the children. But I'm going to say this. The majority of children in Bibb County schools are little brown children. Now, come on now. They brown children. I'm not saying all of them. I don't know what percentage it is, but they look like me and they look like you. Well, and Emily, all of them. And see, if we need to get new things in these schools and we need to get things, I don't know, I think it's used for capital gains, which is like to improve, the buildings or whatever like that, then I'm fine with that. What difference does it make to your pocketbook whether or not we fund East Plus? Now, let me roll back. Taxes went up this past year for education. Those of us who own a home know that our taxes was increased. I'm like, okay, so I don't want to see my taxes get increased again because we did not fund East Plus. The schools got to work. Now, there's some people say, no, we don't want to pay. We don't want to pay that. Well, if you don't want to pay that, then tell me how we're going to take and support the schools. That's what I'm saying. How can you support the schools?
And what do we know the percentage that it's increasing? Like, is it substantial? Is it small? Like, are we collectively as a whole just kind of fighting for no reason?
I don't know. I think a lot of it is we are attached, and I'm just going to say I love L.H. Williams. I went to L.H. Williams when I was in school. Mm-hmm. The people are not moving into that area. Mm-hmm. They just, and so
that school essentially needs to close.
That school needs to close. Mm-hmm. And some other schools around here need to close to consolidate. But I understand that people are upset about consolidating the schools simply because that's where they went to school.
Right. Let me see. Do you know how many students are in L.H. Williams?
I don't know, but I know it's. I want to say it's it.
Because isn't it a low populated school?
It is a low populated school. It is, and I love, and by the way, and like I say, I love L.H. Williams, and I love our schools and things of this nature, but it comes a time that we have to say, okay, have to make some hard choices and things of this nature. How are we going to support all these schools if we don't do eSPLOS? I'm just saying.
So they officially, the last count was 306 students. That's not a lot of students to hold an entire school building open.
Well,
306 students says approximately has an enrollment of 306 students.
Well, I think it's crazy.
And I don't think people really, take that into consideration, the amount of money that it takes to actually keep an entire school building up and running, because you got the building, you got the lights, you got the principals, you got the assistant principals, you got the counselors, you have all the teachers, you got the staff, the not maintenance, what do you call them, the janitorial staff, you got the cafeteria people, all of these people have to get paid, and it's only 306 students. So they really can divide out of all the elementary schools we have in Bibb County, and the ones that are closer to that area, those kids can actually be bused to another school.
Right. And then see, part of the eSPLOS would be to buy new school buses. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much a school bus costs, mm-hmm. but I know that I'm not the one that be trying, I don't want to have to do it. And plus, we need technology. Now, there's some folk that say, well, they don't need to have nothing, they ain't gonna do nothing but tear it up anyway. But they need it. That's mm-hmm. They ain't gonna do nothing but steal it. Da 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 da. Mm-hmm. And at least I don't know what percentage of the money, but I don't know if people realize Emory Highway, I can't remember the numbers, was one of the busiest highways in Macon. From people coming in to go to work, because a lot of people coming to Macon to go to work. Well,
you're talking about the ones that are coming in from like Milledgeville,
Sparta, Jones County, and stuff like that. Well, okay. They come in here to work. What mm-hmm. else do? They come in here, they work, they shop, and they eat. Whenever they shop and whenever they eat, and they mm-hmm. buy gas, well, we get a little. A penny is may not sound like a lot. I don't know how much it is, but I'm thinking it's a penny. Mm-hmm. But it it's where at least they're paying for it. Mm-hmm. I mean, locally, yeah, we are, but we have a lot of people that work in Macon that don't live in Macon. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at one. I'm just kidding.
Sure don't. But I actually, I have seriously considered relocating back to Macon, because I really do. I loved Macon when I was here. My son was raised here in Macon. We were born in Texas, but I raised him right here in Macon, Georgia. He went to elementary school, middle school, high school. He even came back here and went to Middle Georgia State University. So, Macon definitely holds a special place in my heart. And I've said that I was going to come back to Macon once he got, good and established, and, he's working out as a second year teaching. So I'm eyeballing a couple of places back in Macon.
I love Macon. Mm-hmm. I love Macon.
I do. I don't know why folk be talking so bad about Macon. I really like it.
I really like Macon. They always got something bad to say. And if you out there, you love Macon, hit us up in the chat, because we love Macon. That number is 478-250-1444. But I also think that sometimes, we allow out some opinions that we have to get in the way of what I would consider, what's best for the community. And I just know that in education and school system, we have some good people. Mm-hmm. We need to stop looking over them. Mm-hmm. Now, we definitely need to stop doing that. Stop going on the outside to feed what we have on the inside. When we have people that are like local that could do a really, really good job. I do agree with that. We need to cut it out. But as far as that e-splice, we need to keep that. So I'm kind of pushing that. I'm spending a little time on it. I encourage you to go out to vote. Oh, they got a ride to the polls. Have you seen that? Child, they got rides to the poll. Mr. Jackson, have you seen the rides to the poll? You know, Leon Jones just sent me a note and said, you know I love makers. Leon, nobody but you. Leon. You know, and for I'm trying to find that information on where it rides to the polls. I think the Tubman people had it. If you from the Tubman and you're listening, you know, help me understand where the rides to the polls is, because I know they had them. I saw them. I really did. I just, now I'm kind of upset because I can't find it. I should have really looked through my messages and found that, because some people may need a ride, you know, to the polls. Because that's one thing, you know, let me see. Run to the poll. That's what you need to do. I'm putting up here, run to the poll. That's probably why I couldn't find it. Let me see what we got right here. Well, here it is right here. Oh, this was last year talking about chip in to the poll.
If there's anybody out there listening, you guys have any information on giving rides to the polls, y'all call us or drop a message in the chat.
All right. You know what? Thank you, because I was going to look for it, but I wanted to make sure that we had it. Emily, you looking good over there. You getting ready for the now there's a lot of things that's going on about Pink Friday. You know, we don't call it black, we call it pink.
Right.
And they're telling you to boycott these businesses and to support local businesses. I just kind of want to know what your take is on that, because they sure calling them out, baby. They calling out names, a bunch of.
Well, here's the thing. So, you know, with us, I always like to be clear and concise. The issue that I have with the boycott situation is that they're not being specific. Every single flyer, every single advertisement, every single thing I've seen about this boycott, it just says to boycott these specific businesses during these specific dates. It does not tell, well, some of them don't even say specific businesses. What it doesn't say is for you to shop local and shop Black owned. And I've been telling everybody, I think even one of our local people had shared it on her page, and I had to comment. I said, listen, you got to make sure that you tell people to come and shop with us. I said, because putting this kind of information out without being specific, it really, really, really hurts small Black businesses like myself. If you tell people not to shop, small businesses like myself, this is the time of year that we make our largest amount of money that carries us through the rest of the year. So if you tell people not to shop on Black Friday, the Saturday after, which they call it Small Business Saturday, and then Cyber Monday, if you tell people not to shop during those days, then you're hurting a lot of the small businesses. So you have to be specific. And I want to say, for those of you guys that are listening, the idea or the concept is to not shop the big box chains, which is your conglomerate, your Walmart, your Target, your, the larger box chains, and to spend your money only with small, locally owned Black businesses. That's the idea.
That, or even it can just be a local business,
right?
Because I do promote a Black business, but there are some people here that have, like cakes and pies. And,
yeah, absolutely.
And then we have some people that take pictures and things like that that are, that are from all groups. And I think it's important that we spend some time on that, because, I don't say too much about DEI, but for the people who don't appreciate me and my Blackness, okay, I'm not spending my money there.
And I think the idea is for us to understand, like, how powerful our dollar really is. We get up, we go to work every day, we pay our bills, we go shopping, we eat, eat out in restaurants, but you don't really understand how valuable your dollar is when it comes to especially your local economy.
And by the way, let me go back and then too, and to tie that in with East Plus, that money when they do say, okay, they're going to, they're going to pass it, then there again, you're helping us locally. I'm going to say this. Y'all know what I'm talking about at these churches and things. When y'all get ready to have y'all business, when y'all get ready to have y'all little program, you don't go to Target. You don't go to Walmart. You don't go to them. You go right on over there. You don't go to Bath. You go right on over to the Naturalista. Can you buy ad in my in my program? Can you give me a 10% discount? Whatever. We are the number one consumer. Black folk, black. We have a lot of money that we spend. But yet and still, which I don't understand it, why we don't choose to spend it so that we can expand our community.
Yeah.
And I just had to talk about that today. I said, because
but it gets tiresome. Like,
I know
even me, I've said this a million times on the show. I've been self-employed for so long, since I was 18. And I am literally tired at my age of trying to explain to Black people, both young and old, why it is important to spend your Black dollars with Black-owned businesses. Now, let me say this. Every Black-owned business is not legitimate, but there are hundreds and thousands of us out there that have legitimate Black-owned businesses that you can spend your money with. I don't compare myself, but people compare me to Bath and Body Works all the time. And I'm like, that. But here's the thing. You will go in Bath and Body Works and drop $300, $400, $500 on Black Friday, but won't step foot in my store. And when you do step foot in my store, you'll spend $20 and complain about the $20 the whole time you're there.
And that's why we don't share the wealth. Because when we go in, and Emily tell you, I put my money where my mouth is.
She does.
For Christmas, on Black Friday or whatever, I say, you know what? I give away gift baskets from Naturalista. I sure do.
She does. And I don't know. I tell her thank you every year, but like, that is how we sustain. That's what helps keep my store up and running, is by people like Brenda that actually, buy their gifts from the Naturalista, because it's a product, it's natural, it's not going to hurt them. And you're helping the local economy. You're helping a small business owner. And again, the whole cliche, we don't have yachts and we don't have, Mercedes Benz, and I don't have all of those things. But every time, you're supporting a local small business,
period.
You are helping put our students through college. And like, for Jimmy turned around. We spent all of that money on his college education, and he came back into Bibb County. He came back into Middle Georgia, and now he's teaching. Like, that is your tax dollars at work. Like, you all spending money with me allowed me to pay and help him through college. And now he's paying it forward by teaching in the community that raised him. Right.
And I think it's very important. And see, the thing about it is, they say, and we'll be talking about Black folk. I had somebody tell me, and this, they said, well, I don't get Black folk to do my business. Now, I'm talking about like contracting business. I don't let them come over there because all they do is just mess up. Well, that's just a lie. Now, there are some people, there are some folk out there, bootleg contractors, whatever you want to call them, jackleg, that go and tear your house up. I agree. But they're not all Black.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They're not all Black. They're not all white. They're not all Hispanic. They what they are. But don't think that, this business of, well, I can't use them because they don't do nothing but just tear up and stuff. We think that the white man ice is colder, and I don't care. If you don't agree with me, that's all right. But that's the way a lot of us think. We think that we have to go to a white-owned business or a big conglomerate to go and buy things, not really realizing the markup on those particular items is just tremendous. And again, what do you get back from the community? Right. Like I said, when they need to have an ad or whatever like that.
Local. And let's dive into that. I mean, because this is a really big issue. When, like she said, when you have your local baseball teams, the little league football teams, the cheerleading teams, the competition dance team, all of those teams, they come and they knock on all of our small business doors and ask us, can you buy an ad, or can you sponsor the team this year? And, so on and so forth. They're not getting sponsorships from Walmart or Target or these other, larger conglomerates. You look through those books. Those are all small businesses.
And then too, and I go
that really can't afford to do it, but we do it because we want to support the community.
And then too, even with the lawyers, I'm going to go with the lawyers and stuff. They, a lot of the lawyers around here would take, and they will take and contribute back to the community. You know what I'm saying? They'll do it. But yet and still, some of y'all know who I'm talking about. When y'all have a big case, you go to Atlanta. You don't use the local lawyer. I don't know why, but you'll go to Atlanta and get you a big time lawyer up there to do the work. Whereas, I mean, there's enough work for everybody. But there again, when you need some help, what do? You're going to go knock on their door.
That's right.
And ask them, can you have this or can you have that? And it's not fair. And that's why I said, I'm going to talk about that today. The holidays are coming up and everything. I said, and then what we need to do is be conscious about where we put our dollars, because we ain't got that many dollars to put. Now, that's the other thing. Did they cut out SNAP?
Well, they just passed today, actually this morning, the Supreme Court, I think it was 2 Supreme Court justices, they passed an injunction, and the Agricultural Department, the U.S. Ag Department, is releasing, if I'm not mistaken, it's about close to $4 or $5 billion. And so basically all of the people that are getting SNAP benefits in Georgia and all the other states, they're going to get a portion of their SNAP benefits now. Initially, they weren't going to get anything. Now they're going to give them about half of what they were supposed to get. So if you were getting $800 in stamps for November, you're going to get about $400 now. And they said they're gonna base it on different factors, I guess the number of children you have in your home, or I guess different circumstances, but roughly you're gonna get 50% of whatever it is that you were supposed to be getting for the month of November. They expect the shutdown to be over with and things to go back to normal in December. The contingency money is what it is. The contingency fund for SNAP is $9 billion, I think, but it's not enough. So instead of emptying out the entire contingency fund, they're only going to empty out half, and they're going to take the $4 billion and disperse it between the states, and then that will allow each state to give their SNAP recipients 50% or about 50% of what they normally get. So at least they're going to be getting something. Initially, they weren't going to get anything.
And all I can say is, and you don't want to vote. We have not been in this position at all.
Right.
I'm very careful about what I'm saying, because I understand that, Big Brother listens and stuff like that. So I'm simply going to say, whenever you have an opportunity to go to the polls, run to the polls, don't think that your vote don't matter, because your vote matters.
Especially, guys, listen, the local elections, your senators, your congressmen,
right?
Those are the ones that don't get as much attention. But those are literally single-handedly the most important ones, because those are the ones, the senators and those are the ones that go and fight on your behalf. They fight for what it is that you want, what the state needs, and those are the ones that get ignored the most, which is crazy to me.
And by the way, in Public Service Commission, crazy. I'm running to the polls. I don't know. Have y'all looked at your light bill?
Yeah, I met somebody from Georgia Power, and actually I want to have her on the show. I may try to see if I can get her on the show next week. There's multiple programs that she actually is over the programs that help senior citizens and help disadvantaged people get their light bills paid.
Oh, that'd be great.
And so I was talking to her about my mom. I said, my mom is single. She lives alone. She has a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. And her light bill went from like $200 it was roughly right at $200 to over $400.
That's and she can't afford that.
She can't afford it. And she's trying to figure out, well, what happened? She's asked them to come out, look at it, look at the meter, check the meter. They keep saying, ma'am, the meter is digital. There's nothing wrong with the meter. And she said, I haven't. If you look at my past bills and then you look at these, where is there's no jump in kilowatt, I'm not using any more power. Like, what is happening?
And that's why you need to run and vote, like I said, vote D, whatever it is, for your public service, your public service commissioner. But I'm going down there and vote for him. Because like I said, my electricity is not that bad. I have mine spaced out like on monthly, I get like the monthly thing, but it's expensive. But I'm like, man, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's what we used to do when I was married to my ex-husband. We had the it's where you get the same exact bill every month. I can't remember what it's called.
Budget billing.
Oh, okay. So it's budget billing. And so it was in I believe it was in my husband's name. Yep. And so it was the same amount every month. And then at the end of your 12th month, they reassess and see like, okay, this is what your bill actually was. So your bill can either go up or it could come down.
Okay, the ones in office voted for 6. Let me see what I just saw something in
6
here.
increases in the last 3 years.
Who? We talking about Congress?
They voted for 6 increases. So that's why your bill, keeps going up.
Wow. The current service commission. 6 increases in the past 3 years. So what you need to do is make sure we vote him out of office. So just know that you have some power to kind of regulate your utility bill. And it's so important that you get out there and vote. And when you say, oh, my vote don't mean nothing. Oh, okay. Your vote means something. And so, Emily, I think that was a great, getting back to the food stamps. I don't know how people are going to eat. I'm telling you, by the grace of God, I went out and bought, groceries for the house. I didn't even buy I didn't buy cleaning stuff. I just bought groceries.
It's ridiculous.
It was like close to almost $300. And I know that I used to get that same amount of groceries for maybe like $150. I know that. You can't tell me. You can't tell me that because, and I didn't get like stupid stuff like shrimp and all of that, lobster tail. I'm talking about hamburger. I don't buy, I mean, just real basic stuff. I wouldn't buy no serious, we don't even buy sodas.
Right.
And it's not that, we don't buy them because I make Denver and Henry, all of us, we drink water.
Right.
We may drink a little bit of tea and a little bit of lemonade, but we do not drink like
sodas
the can
and drinks,
which is expensive.
And
we don't buy cookies,
which is good because y'all shouldn't. No, I'm just joking. But listen, the argument, and I've been following. I'm kind of like your social media girl, right? So I've been following, on Facebook, on Instagram, especially on TikTok, and there is this debate. So you have half of the country, I'm going to say, because the debate really is amongst Black women that I've noticed. You have half of the Black women that are saying, I don't feel sorry for the women that are not getting SNAP this month.
Oh, wow.
I don't feel, bad for these people because nobody told you to lay up and have 5 or 6 kids. Nobody told you to, keep having babies. If you knew you couldn't afford the first 2, why did you keep having, so I've heard that argument, and I'm not exaggerating, about thousands of times.
Me too. I'm glad you brought that up.
You got the other side that, that is more compassionate, saying, we don't have the right to judge and, so on and so forth. I'm 50-50 on both. You can't control what people do with their bodies, how many children they have. That has nothing to do with you. But what we can start to look at is who the people that are really going to be impacted the most. And my thought is you got your elderly, you have your disabled, you have the people that are special needs, you have the babies that are depending on WIC, because WIC does fall under SNAP benefits as well. Right. So I was trying to explain to a customer of mine, she was a female, and I said, you realize that some of that milk that the babies drink is really, really expensive. So if you're a new mother with a newborn baby and you can't afford the milk, then what are you going to do when you don't have your SNAP benefits? I said, the babies are going without milk. And she was like, well, nah. I said, no, my son is going to be 27, right? I remember back then he couldn't drink milk. He was lactose intolerant. He had to have Prosobi. Prosobi back then was $38 a can. And we're talking about in 1999. I can only imagine the cost of it now. And one of those cans of milk lasts you maybe 2 days. So when I tell people like, this is what's happening, like these babies, these women can't afford the milk. It's not about whether she has 5 children or 6 children. Like a can of milk shouldn't be $38.
But see, that's where, when people say, I love God, and, I love God with all my heart, soul, and mind, and, and they tearing up the pews at church and falling out the floor and foaming at the mouth and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's when I say, okay, I don't understand you, because I am for SNAP benefits. Mm-hmm. Now, I really, because you have to be for or against, and I am for them. However, what I'm not for is buying all that prepackaged food and things like that for, because I think they should regulate. I won't say like get a bag of flour, a bag of sugar, but they should regulate some things. I heard one lady talk about, so she's going to do a cooking class on how to prepare food from the food bank. Mm-hmm. She's absolutely correct. It's some people out there who don't know how to cook, Emily. Mm-hmm. That's part of the problem. That's why they don't know how to feed them children, because they don't know how to cook for the children or even for themselves or whatever. I don't know. You can take powdered potatoes, and I don't particularly care for them, but you can take powdered potatoes and make baby food with it. Mm-hmm. If you know what I'm saying, it may not be what you want.
Yeah. But I mean, it's people, they were coming in the store and talking about this with the ladies when they were getting services. Yeah. And I said, do you really think these people are going to be rioting on the first? I said, I said no. I said, I'm going to tell you why I said no.
I agree. I disagree with that one.
I do not think that us will be rioting. I think that because whenever our backs up are against the wall as a community, Black people, we will rise to the occasion. Okay. Our churches will step up when they're forced to step up. Neighbors will help neighbors. That's what we do. That's what we have historically done as a people. Now, they may riot, but we won't. We're just going to say, Brenda, hey, Brenda, I'm going to call you up. Listen, little Jim ain't got no milk. Can you give me $20 towards a can of milk? Can you give me $30 towards a can of milk?
Yeah, that's true.
Can I come and get a couple of groceries from you? No, most of us, I'm going to say most of us are going to say, yeah, girl, I got you. That's what we do as a community, and that's why I love us. We're not out there rioting. Nothing happened yesterday or whenever the first was, Monday, Sunday.
Well, I just think that, but there are some people who are very upset. Now, I am going to say this about us who keep having the children. We need to have a conversation with our daughters, and this is not a popular opinion, and I know that I'm going to get spanked for this one. We need to encourage our girls, even though I was pregnant when I got married, should just this day and age don't have any children unless you are either gainfully employed and you can take care of yourself, or you have a husband. Mm-hmm. We need to I think there's a conversation, like they said, how do you prevent it? Well,
there's a lot of ways.
There's a lot of ways. I talked to Denver, and I said, Denver, because she's at that age, and we'll talk about, like babies and such. And I said, Denver, you don't want any children when you're not married. She said, well, she'll start giving me examples of people who have had children. I said, and where are they? Mm-hmm. She said, well, they're living this way or that way. I said, okay, is that how you want your child to live? She said, no. I said, because if you were to get a baby, you won't be living like that. You won't be living like that because it's not grandma's baby. Mm-hmm. And so I've been kind of grooming her for that we don't want to make those kind of choices. Because like I told her, I said, baby, food stamps is not going to be out here. Mm-hmm. It looks like SNAP is not going to be the SNAP that you and I know SNAP to be. It's changing.
Right. And this part I do absolutely agree on. I do believe that there needs to be a cap when it comes to SNAP, because and I want to make sure I'm clear when I say this. People that actually need the SNAP benefits should be able to get them.
Old people
and the reason
veterans,
why that there is not enough. Oh, look like we got a caller. Hello, caller.
Hey, this is Leon. How you doing?
Hello, sir.
Y'all doing okay today?
We are. Sir. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Let me tell you this right here. Chandler, my youngest son, he's 34. He'll be 35 in June. He grew up at Bentley's. He works for Richard Robinson now. He called me when he was working at Bentley's. He was 24 years old, Brenda. Emily, 24 years old. He said, I need to talk with you. I said, oh my God, somebody's pregnant. I said, where are you? He said, meet me behind the funeral home. So I go behind the funeral home. He's sitting there. I said, what's going on? He said, nothing. He said, I want to have a vasectomy. I said, you what? He said, I want to have a vasectomy. I said, Charlie, you're 24 years old. He said, Daddy, I got a boy and a girl. I don't need any more children. I don't want any more children. They are too expensive. And mind you now, this was 10 years ago. He's 34 now. He was 24. I said, you sure you want to do this? He said, yeah. I carried Chandler out to Urology Associates on Bowman Road. And the doctor says, you sure you want to do this? You're not but 24 years old. He told the doctor, he said, I got a boy and a girl. I don't want any more. He said, most black men don't have vasectomies. Chandler looked at that doctor and said, I'm not most black men, sir. I want to have a vasectomy.
Wow.
So I look at Chandler. If he don't do anything else right, he done that. I didn't pressure him. Sheila would like to fell out the chair when I told her.
But you are absolutely correct about the vasectomies for the black men.
Now, Chandler is the one that we don't give a lot of credit through. He wasn't an A student like Kayla. Kayla was an A student, okay? Chandler was like the C student, but he tried, okay? But both of them got their work ethic from me. They don't mind working, okay? But that's what he did. And he's not a deadbeat father. He takes care of his children. He takes care of his children. Of course, Papa takes care of the children's mama. Anytime they got a flat tire or need an oil change, they call me. They don't call Chandler. Because Chandler ain't going to do it. I gave one of them a car. I gave one of them a Dodge Charger. And she gonna say, why you do that? We got a grandchild over there. Just stay in your lane. Of course, I got the silent treatment for the next day or two. Whenever she would get mad, she give me the silent treatment. Hell, I don't care. We still married. Okay. When we first got married, she get mad with me. You know what she do, Brenda? She take her wedding bands off. Hell, we still married. Emily. She take her wedding bands off and put it on the nightstand. And when she got married, well, hell, we still married.
That wedding band didn't
She wants you to know she mean business.
Oh, girl, I don't understand that, girl. Hey, she born on Halloween. Plus, she a nurse. She got a short fuse. Let me tell you something. At my age now, we've been married 35 years. We've been together 38 years. I had 37 and a half of this. We had one bad year. When she get the rent, I just don't say nothing. I just go to my room.
Your room?
Look,
I sleep upstairs. She was sleep down. Cause my phone ring all the time. Plus, she like the thermostat on 12. Okay, it's so cold. It's so cold, Emily. When I go down the stairwell to the refrigerator in the middle of the night, it's so cold you can feel the air on the stairwell. We don't need the morgue. Just bring somebody to our house. And she sleeps with the fan on, brother.
That's my kind of woman.
Well, Leon,
yes,
I do too. I sleep with two fans on.
I go to my room. When Taylor was the same way. When Taylor stayed in the house, me and Chandler had to put the cardboard below the vent. Taylor, but and I didn't want to pay the light bill. Okay, light bill $700 a month. Yeah, I already voted on Public Service Commission.
You know what, Leon? I'm glad that you with it. We need to. I'm trying to stress. They need to go out and vote D.
You better
You
vote.
can't say that.
Better vote.
Huh?
Yeah, they better vote. But here's what I understand. Here's what I can understand. Yeah, I said this on Elaine Lucas' show. I can't understand a person that would stay in a nightclub until they close, but can't stay in the voting line 30 minutes.
Oh, I agree with you on that.
I can't understand it. You stay in a nightclub till they lock the doors up, but you can't stay in the voting line 30 minutes. It's the same thing for burial insurance, Emily. You can spend $500. You can spend $500 for a weave in Atlanta. You can build a race car. You can have $20,000 worth of tires and rims on your car for rim time, but can't pay $75 a month for insurance.
That's true.
That's true right there,
Gotta
Leon.
gotta have a GoFundMe page to bury you, and your family don't care. Your family's not gonna take the responsibility of a $10,000 funeral. It don't make sense.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Leon, and I know you know. All right, will you peace out, Leon?
I'm out there. Y'all have a good evening. Thanks for taking our call. Bye.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye. But you know what, though? You know, we just love Leon because the thing Leon is honest. Even if you can't, you know, out there, and that's why we love him so much. But Emily, he is absolutely correct. We're talking about getting back to the SNAP benefits and the folk having all them children. I didn't like a lot of children. I don't know about you, but I didn't like them. I never wanted a house full of children. I had a hysterectomy at 22 because I was sick. So I have a hysterectomy because I was hemorrhaging twice a month. I had lost a lot of weight and stuff like that. So and cancer ran into my family, and they said it would just be better for me just to go ahead and get, get that taken care of so that I would not have cancer. And I'm glad I did. But what I'm going to say is he is right about, people making these choices to have all these children. And then, and everything has a time limit on it. Emily, everything got a time. SNAP, all of this stuff is changing. When they said they were going to start putting pictures on SNAP, I said, okay.
Yeah.
All right. When they putting them pictures on them cards.
But even that, I saw that and I kind of laughed because I said, it's not really going to work because Black women, especially, we change our hair. We change our hair color. Yep. So even if you put a picture on it, how are you going to, is it me? Is it not me? Even if I give you an ID, I look completely different than my picture because I pay for the one that lasts like 10 or 15 years or however long. I pay for the most expensive one so I don't have to come in there every other year.
But you know what, Emily, the bottom line though is, and what you brought up was the fact that the situation is now changing and that people, now let me just say this, the first law of nature, remember this, you heard it, is self-preservation. That is the first law. That was the first. I don't know what category that law falls in, but self-preservation is it. People will do anything when they hungry. Understand that. That means that crime go up. People gonna start stealing. I had a young person, even this past week, Emily. How about they came to the door, knocked on the door. I was doing some work, but they were going through the neighborhood, filming the houses. Okay. I had somebody come, they said, Miss Williams said, so-and-so, some little Black boys in a car, and they are going through and they're videotaping. I said, okay, thank you so much. I left the lights on to try to, let them know that we had lights and that we knew. But I'm like, please encourage your children or whoever may think somebody is going to die because these people are different. They ain't like the other folk. Okay. They'll drop you if you go in the house. They're gonna kill somebody's child. They come in the house. That's what I'm alluding to. You know, and you may say, "Oh, my boys are good." No, or my daughter, honey, they gonna kill them.
And you know, it always behooves me every time, you know, something like that tragic happens. You always have the grandma and the mama and the auntie doing the press conference on the news and crying, "He was a good boy, and they took my baby." Like, ma'am, your son your grandson robbed somebody at gunpoint, broke into somebody's house at gunpoint, and they got shot. Why are you on national TV talking about he was a good boy? Clearly he wasn't.
No, he wasn't no good boy.
So I don't understand, like, why do they do that?
And then, you know, you think Anita, you know, the Honorable Anita is going like that ain't nothing gonna happen to him, or David Davis is gonna let it slide. That's not gonna happen.
Right. And we as a people, we have to stop giving our own people a pass for doing illegal stuff.
Wait. Say that again right there.
We as a people have to stop giving our people a pass. Like, if you did it, you did it. If it was illegal, it was illegal. You know, you don't get special treatment. Oh, they just trying to be hard on him because he black. And this is a true story. This actually happened. I had this conversation with somebody I know really well. And they was like, I was set up. I mean, I was set up from the jump. I said, did you do it? Well, I mean, that ain't the point. Now, answer my question. Did you do something that you knew you had no business doing? Yes or no? He said, well, yeah. I said, did you know that what you were doing was completely illegal? It was against the law. Well, yeah. I said, because you were sneaking and doing it, right? Yeah. I said, and they caught you multiple times doing it. So whose fault is that? I mean, now you don't understand. Now, I understand quite well. You don't want to take responsibility. You think that I'm supposed to feel sorry for you because you did something illegal, and because you black, oh, it's the white man system and they got their foot on my neck. And no, you have to take responsibility. So that gets on my last nerve. And, you know, I love my people. I love us, but we have to stop giving each other a pass when we do something illegal. And most of the time it's you want to give them leeway and you want to give them a pass until it directly affects you. Now, when it affects you, you want them to throw the book at you know, throw the whole book at them, give them 25 years to life, whatever. I want the maximum sentence, but that's only when it affects you. So we gotta get up, get out here. We gotta hustle. We gotta work. We gotta do whatever we can to maintain ourselves, to maintain our communities, because as we can see, the truth of the matter is, like I was saying, on the other hand, you had these people saying, you know, you can't depend on the federal government. You have to have some type of side hustle or side job or something, because they control your fate when it comes to food stamps. And like, you should never let another person control whether you eat.
And that's why, and they said, well, you know, you could say, Brenda, why are you working so hard on your genealogy? Why are you doing that? Because genealogy would pay me some money. That's a side hustle. I'm trying to find me, everybody should be trying to find them something on the side that's going to generate them a little bit of money. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to generate Brenda some money in her pocket. So that, you know, I mean, you know, I do for my mama. I do, you know, I have to do around the house, and I have to do certain things. I mean, I just have a lot. You know, Henry has been sick for a while. He's getting better, but he's been sick. So it's a lot. But I can't expect the federal government to give me nothing.
Yeah, and you know, like I was saying before Leon called, I was saying about the they're changing so much now when it comes to the SNAP benefits. I also read that this part of the law had already been in place, but they're starting to enforce it now, where they're requiring people that are receiving SNAP benefits, they have to do 20 hours of mandatory community service a week now. So while you're receiving your SNAP benefits, if you're able-bodied, and I believe it's 18, it used to be 18 to 50 and 18 to 55. Now they've changed it. It's 18 to 65. If you are 18 to 65 and you're receiving SNAP benefits, you have to do 20 hours of mandatory community service every week. You have to turn in, you know, your paperwork saying that you actually went and looked for a job. And I remember it being that way when you got unemployment, but now they're doing it for SNAP benefits. So they're going to start enforcing it. And I believe it's in January of 2026, they're going to start enforcing it. So if you get SNAP benefits, you're going to have to get up and go work. You're going to have to get up and go give 20 hours of community service to your community. You're going to have to turn that paperwork in. You're going to have to prove every week that you went and looked for a job, that you actually went and did job interviews and so on and so forth. So, they're really cracking down on these people that are abusing the system. And again, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody or saying this person deserves it over this person. What I'm saying is, if you are receiving benefits, you're now going to actually have to work for those benefits. And I've always been a big believer that those benefits should be given to our elderly, to our veterans, to our disabled, to people that actually cannot physically go out and work. I know people personally that I know one person, I've known her for 22 years. She's never had a job.
And see,
in 22 years,
I don't even know.
And she's been on Section 8 and she's been on
what though?
Food stamps. And this entire time, and there's nothing wrong with her. Nothing.
By the way, I know I have someone, and I won't say how I know them, but let me just say I know them. And let me just first say that they're not Black.
Mm-hmm.
Told me, said they really don't want to work because they're getting their disability and they don't want to pay back their student loan. So they did everything they needed to do so that the government would stop and, would not pay their student loan. But, oh, by the way, they vote to make sure that other people don't get the same privileges they get.
I can believe that. And the biggest misconception is, I know, I also have a client that actually works for DFACS, that works for, in that department. And the biggest misconception is that it is the African American who gets the most benefits, but it's not. It's actually the Caucasian, the white people that actually get more food stamps and more benefits. And I mean, this is across the board. Like, it's actually, they get more food stamps than we do.
Because the population is larger.
There's more of them.
There's
I'll put
more
it like
of
that.
them.
It's more of them.
And then too, it doesn't, and see, for us,
but we've become the face of
we
food stamps.
have become the face of food
stamps. And so when people hear food stamps, they automatically think Black people. And I'm like, we have to change that narrative and get people to realize, like, no, we're literally not the face of food stamps. It's actually them.
But then when you don't vote and you don't have a seat at the table, because I've been accused of being, white folks lover or whatever. But oh yeah, I have been. Oh yeah, I get all of that.
You hear that, Antonia?
Yeah, they say. They talk about me behind my back like that, which is fine. I ain't got no problem with that. But the issue is because I may at sometimes have a seat at the table, and that's the issue. Because we need, as Black people, need to be able to sit down where they are making decisions so that we can probably try to. I'm not a Clarence Thomas. I'm not going to let the thing slide that Clarence let slide. I won't do that. Then, I married a Black man too. So that may have something.
So now that officially gives you your Black card because you married one of us. Okay.
I did.
Okay. I love Henry. Shout out to Henry Williams. That's my buddy. He's like a father to me. I love Big Hen.
Big Hen had dialysis today.
Oh.
And he's doing really, really well. He's doing better than what he has been in the past. I'm proud of him. But it's been a long road for him to get, to get his health back. And of course, I'm working hard and, trying to help him and everything. I like
going over there where he can raise sand. He like raising sand when I'm over there.
That's all he like to do.
All right, you guys. Well, we love you all so much. Thank you all for tuning in. We will be here next Monday, Lord's willing. That'll be November the 10th, I believe it is.
That's it.
Same time, same bat place, same bat time. And you guys go out and vote. It's tomorrow, right?
That's it.
It's tomorrow. What time do the polls close? At 7?
At 7.
Polls close at 7 o'clock. You guys will be voting on say the name.
Public Service Commission.
Public Service Commissioner. This person controls what your light bill is going to be. So you
Right.
guys get out and vote tomorrow.
And vote yes on the e-splice. We need to take care of these children.
You've been listening to All of a Sudden. Join them every Monday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. All of a Sudden with your host, Brenda Sutton. That's every Monday. We'll see you there.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.